What's going on today? I'm going to show you how to edit your reels in CapCut so you can promote your music without looking corny and without putting in too much effort. Before we get into that, I just want to introduce myself real quick. My name is Patrick Stafford and I founded Origins of Artist Development. I'm a creative director, a social media expert, and most importantly, a lover of music. All the time I shoot content for artists, I help them strategize how to have the perfect rollout, and throughout all of these artist conversations, one of the things that I hear the most often is that they don't know how to edit their reels within CapCut or DaVinci, so they have this amazing footage to work with, but then when it comes to the edit, they don't really know what to do, and sometimes that breaks the entire video, making it not reach its full potential. So today, I'm gonna help you not have that problem, and we're gonna go straight into CapCut right here on my phone. You should be able to do everything in this video on the free version, but to be honest, I recommend getting the paid version. It's not that much and they have a lot of amazing features. With that being said, let's dive right into CapCut and start our edit. All right, so I'm here on CapCut. I'm gonna go ahead and hit new project. And for this example, I'm gonna use both of these two different clips here that I shot for Tom Cooper. Tom Cooper is an amazing artist and pianist, and we shot some reels in a London station to get some cool content for him. So we've got two different clips here, and the reason that we have two is because we're going to transition between both of them. When you transition between multiple clips, your video is just a little bit more interesting. The very first thing that I'm going to do is go to the second clip, scroll all the way over, and there's this button called overlay. So that's basically going to make it so that we can stack both of the videos on top of each other. I'll go ahead and delete the CapCut outro and drag this clip over top here. To make it easy for myself, I started both the clips at the exact same time on the song, so I don't have to worry about lining up the audio. I'm gonna go over to the volume on either one of the clips. It doesn't really matter which one since they're both the same, and I'm gonna mute it. So far, this is what we're working with.
They said take care, don't let her close, but can I trust what I've been told? Cause when I felt your touch, I fell in love and now I'm sold.
It looks pretty sick, but obviously we wanna make it a little bit more interesting. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is take this first clip and add some cuts in it. Sometimes it's cool to add cuts on the parts where the beats are hitting, but it also doesn't matter too much. You can kind of do it however feels right to you. Just make sure both the clips are kind of going back and forth and you're not stuck on one for too long. So I'm gonna make the cut right here. I'm gonna hit split, and then you'll see that there's this little white marker here. I'm just gonna drag it over until the part where I think it would come in next, right about there. So this is what we're working with now.
They said take care, don't let her close, but can I trust what I've been.
And I'm literally gonna do that for the whole thing. All right, now I've got all my cuts and the video looks like this so far.
They said take care, don't let her close, but can I trust what I've been told? Cause when I felt your touch, I fell in love and now I'm sold. Said I'm the only one you want, until you prove it, I don't know. I got your love in my sights.
Pretty sick so far. Next, we're gonna get into effects. I really need to stress the fact that you should not go crazy with the effects. If you have a good enough video, you don't need a bunch of transitions and lens flares and all this other BS that you would put in a music video. Save those for the actual music videos. It does not belong in your content. The only effects I really recommend using from CapCut are ones that are very minimalistic. So we'll take a look at some. Some things that I would recommend using every once in a while is something like this zoom lens, because that just adds some motion to the shot. Or we could do something like this tracking shot, where once again you can see it's very minimalistic.
When I felt your touch, I fell in love and now I'm sold.
For this video specifically, I'm not going to use any effects because I really don't think it needs any, but keep it minimal, keep it clean. Don't use the light flashes, don't use these crazy transitions. It's all way too distracting. The focus should be on whatever the content of your actual video is. Next, and arguably most importantly, because a lot of y'all be messing this up, lyrics. So what we're going to do to start the lyrics is go over to text, hit auto lyrics, not auto captions. You see all the templates here? All these templates? Don't use those fucking templates. They suck and they're not gonna get you more views. They don't look cool. They look very corny. So we're just gonna keep the absolute basics. We're gonna hit generate and then we're gonna look at how they did.
They said take care, don't let her close, but can I trust what I've been told?
So this actually did a really good job of getting the lyrics. One of the things that it messes up most is the timing. You want the text of the actual lyrics to come in just a little tiny bit before you say them. We'll go like right here. Same thing with this. A lot of times it'll do it just a little bit early, so just be cognizant of that.
attached, I fell in love and now I'm so.
All right, sick. All the lyrics are in place. Now let's talk about fonts. Unless you're a creative director or a graphic designer and you know your shit when it comes to fonts, I really don't recommend picking any other font than the basic one. Now, this seems like something that's like killing the creativity or whatever, but really what it's doing is it's giving you a font that everybody recognizes. Everybody knows the TikTok font. Everybody knows the default font. It just feels familiar, and it's gonna make it a lot easier when people are watching the video for them to read it. When you start using all these crazy fonts with like these weird letter shapes and these big bubbly things, it takes away from your video. So what I recommend is keep it basic. But if you do want to spice it up, there are a couple fonts within CapCut that are going to amplify the message depending on the type of genre that you make. So for 99% of the time, use the classic font, use the default. But if you must switch it up, you can try something like this, like the Public Sans. If it's more of like an indie vibe, this is really good. If it's more heartfelt lyrics, use something like that. If you're more pop and energetic, you could try Montserrat. That's a really popular one. I would just make it all caps if you're gonna do that. So you see how the capitals look better in this case. And I would typically keep the color of the font the same. Sometimes if I use an italicized font like this, where it's like slanted a little bit, it can look cool if you change it to yellow. So we'll go ahead and go over here to styles and we'll hit yellow or orange. Typically the yellow looks pretty nice. But again, for this one, I'm literally just gonna keep it so basic because that's all you need. And so far, this is what we've got.
They said take care, don't let her close. But cannot trust what I've been told. Cause when I fell, you're attached, I fell in love and now I'm so.
And that is perfect. All right, so this video is ready to be exported from CapCut, but we have one more thing to do. If you're an educated content creator, you may know that this video is missing a text hook. And now, not every video needs a text hook, but a lot of them do. You may be wondering, Patrick, why didn't you put the text hook in CapCut while you're doing the rest of the edits? And it's because using the default text on different platforms is actually gonna make the video do just a little bit better, because it goes back to that recognition that we were talking about with the fonts. When we go over to Instagram and we go to post this as a reel, what we're going to do is we're gonna make a text hook. And for this one, I will say something like, this song is the Trust Issues anthem. Say the new Trust Issues anthem. And then we'll use an emoji, and I'll use the shaking emoji because I feel like that kind of fits. But you notice how I'm using the default Instagram text, and it just looks better that way. So when you go on to TikTok, you do the same thing. If you go on to YouTube Shorts, do the same thing. And we'll put it like right up here, so it's kind of within the lines of the safe zone. And we'll literally only keep it up for a few seconds so that people can read it. We'll do it when that camera angle switches. So like right there. Now we got this.
They said take care, don't let her close. But cannot trust what I've been told. Cause when I fell, you're.
So you may be wondering what I was talking about when I said the safe zone. Well, the safe zone on Instagram and TikTok is basically just the area on screen where they have the buttons and the text and stuff like that. So you don't want to put anything there. You don't want to put any of your captions, your lyrics, your text, any of that. And what that zone looks like is basically while you're watching a reel, there's a whole area up top that you won't really be able to see anything above. You don't want to put anything because it's just going to be way too high up. And also some phone screens are a little bit smaller. So you basically have this little border around the screen that you just don't want to put anything in. Other really important area is this whole zone right here. So this is where the likes go. This is where the comments will sometimes pop up. You're gonna see the views. You're gonna see who made the reel, all that. So you don't wanna post anything in here. Any heading text should stay right up above this area. And then anything that's like lyrics or captions should usually go anywhere in this zone here. So it's a little bit below the middle. That's just a nice place for people to be able to read. But at all costs, avoid those red zones. You don't want to put anything there. Otherwise, people aren't going to be able to see everything in your video. And then you may as well have thrown that video out because it's going to do way worse and nobody's going to be able to see what you're trying to say anyways. Just to recap, keep everything simple. Don't do crazy edits and transitions and effects. You don't need them. Add simple lyrics. If you can't tell already, that's kind of the whole vibe of this entire video is simplicity. Simplicity is key, especially with this type of content. You don't want to overdo it. And then third, just make sure you stay out of those safe zones. As long as you follow those steps, your reels are going to have way more potential to do good. They're not going to look jumbled together, and they're going to be clean, easy, and simple to understand, which is perfect for getting getting you more views and followers. And speaking of followers, go ahead and subscribe to me if you want to learn how to make better content and how to have better rollouts as a music artist in 2025 and beyond. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.